The man, Logan Weaver, grinned and squeezed Arya's face. "You're my woman now," he said. "Are you still going to be with him?" "No one else gets to touch a woman who's with me." Arya quickly said, "Don't worry, Logan. I haven't let him touch me since we got together. I think he's gross." "I am all yours, Logan. Only for you." Then she explained, "Actually, I was going to break up with him right after the restaurant opened. But I didn't expect that a guy he knew from school turned out to be pretty connected. He helped Darren sort out that mess with Scarface in the development zone. I just want to wait for the business to get steady before I tell him we're done and kick him out of the restaurant." Logan laughed. "Scarface? That's nothing. If you'd told me sooner, I could have made that guy apologize to you with just one phone call." Arya smiled and said, "Oh, you're the best, Logan. It all happened so fast, I didn't even think to call you. Besides, Darren was right there, and I was worried you'd be upset if you ran into him." Logan pinched her waist and said with a smiling smile, "You're a smart girl." Arya quickly rubbed against his arm and said, "So, Logan, are you going to buy that X6 for me?" Logan smiled. "All right. First, we go back to my place, and you take good care of me. Then you break up with that loser, and I'll buy you the X6 tomorrow." Arya asked excitedly, "Logan, are you serious? You'll really buy me the X6 tomorrow?" "Have I ever lied to you?" Logan grinned. "But you have to earn it first." Arya immediately winked. "Don't you worry, honey. I'll take very good care of you when we get to your place." With that, the two of them turned and left the dealership. Charlie was disgusted by the two of them. He immediately pulled out his phone and called Darren. Darren answered right away, sounding excited. "Charlie, what's up, man? What made you call?" Charlie said casually, "Just calling to check in. What are you up to?" Darren said, "I'm helping out in the kitchen at the restaurant. The lunch rush is about to start, so I'm just giving them a hand." Charlie asked, "Are you at the restaurant every day?" Darren replied, "Yeah, the restaurant just opened, so there's a ton to do. Besides, more than half the money for this place came from Arya's dad. If I don't work my butt off, they'll look down on me." Charlie asked again, "How much did you put in?" "I put in $100,000. It was all the money I'd saved up since I graduated from college." Charlie continued, "So, who actually owns the restaurant?" Darren said, "I do." Charlie asked, "Is your name on the business registration?" Darren said, "Well, no. The business registration is in Arya's dad's name. Since Arya and I aren't married yet, and her family put up most of the money, it didn't feel right to put my name on it." Then Darren added, "But her dad said that after we get married, he'll transfer ownership of the restaurant to me." Charlie shook his head as he listened. Poor guy. He had no idea he was being used. Arya was treating him like a workhorse, making him slave away at the restaurant in the development zone. Meanwhile, she was sneaking around with rich guys planning to kick him to the curb. The restaurant had nothing to do with Darren on paper. The second Arya decided to dump him, he'd be left with nothing. When that happened, not only would all his hard work be for nothing, but his own $100,000 would be gone too. Thinking about it made him even more disgusted with Arya. He asked Darren directly, "So where did Arya go just now?" Darren smiled and said, "She went to get her hair done." "Why, what's wrong?" Charlie sneered. "Get her hair done? Is that what she told you?" "Yeah, that's right." "And you believe her?" Darren asked, his voice surprised. "Charlie, what are you getting at?" "Just spit it out. Don't beat around the bush." Charlie sighed and said, "All right, I'll just tell you the truth. I saw Arya at a car dealership. She was all over some guy named Logan Weaver, calling him honey and everything. I think she's cheating on you, man." "No way!" Darren blurted out. "Arya's not like that at all." "Are you sure you didn't see someone else?" Charlie said confidently, "I'm positive it was her." "I don't believe it," Darren said coldly. Look, Charlie, we're good friends, but that doesn't give you the right to talk trash about my fiancée, Charlie said coldly. Darren, wake up. Your fiancé is with another guy. This Logan Weaver promised to buy her AX6. Arya's going home with him right now, and she's going to break up with you when she gets back. As your old friend, I'm telling you, you need to get ready. Before Darren could answer, Charlie went on. You should get that painting I gave you and put it somewhere safe. Keep it. It'll give you the capital you need to start over. But if you don't believe me, then there's nothing I can do to help you with what's coming. Darren was getting angry now. Charlie, stop talking crazy. Arya is my fiancée. I know her better than anyone, and she would never betray me. If you say one more thing against her, we're done. Charlie frowned and said flatly, Fine. As a friend, I've told you what you need to know. If you don't want to believe me, there's nothing more I can do. Good luck. After saying that, Charlie hung up. What an idiot. Completely blinded by love, Charlie thought. I should have just taken a video and sent it to him. Just then, the manager of the store knocked on his window. Sir, are you happy with this 530? Charlie nodded. It's great. I'll take it. Can you get me a new one from your inventory? The manager's face lit up. Of course. Just a moment. I'll have someone bring the car around. A few minutes later, a salesman pulled up in a brand new black 530. Charlie paid with his card, folded up his little e-bike, stuck it in the trunk, and drove off. On the way home, his father-in-law and mother-in-law both called, one after the other, asking if he was back yet. When Charlie pulled up, he saw his in-laws were already waiting for him downstairs. Seeing that Charlie had actually bought a 530, the couple was thrilled. His father-in-law circled the car a few times, exclaiming, Nice car! A really nice car! I never thought I'd get to drive this. Charlie smiled and said, Dad, who knows? Maybe you'll be driving a top luxury car one day. His father-in-law laughed. Well, that all depends on you, doesn't it? His mother-in-law was just as happy, and her attitude toward Charlie had clearly improved. His father-in-law hopped in for a test drive. When he got back, he said, The car is fantastic, really comfortable, but it's a bit long for me and not that easy to handle. Charlie, you'll have to be my driver this afternoon. I have an appointment to go see someone about some things. Charlie nodded. Okay, Dad. Then his mother-in-law said, And after that, you can be my chauffeur and take me to afternoon tea with my friends. Let them see me getting picked up in a nice car for a change. Okay, Mom. After lunch, his father-in-law, Jacob, already dressed nicely, urged Charlie, Charlie, hurry up and get ready. We're taking the new car to the vintage market. There's a new Thompson House antique vase at one of the shops, and I want to check it out. Charlie couldn't help but try to talk him out of it. Dad, are you getting back into antiques again? We don't have a lot of money right now. Isn't buying antiques a little extravagant? Jacob wasn't good at making money, but he had big dreams of getting rich. He liked to wander around the vintage market whenever he had nothing to do, hoping to find a hidden treasure. But in the last few years, he'd pretty much just gotten scammed every time. He had stopped for a while, but now it seemed his hobby was back. Seeing that Charlie dared to question him, Jacob, Enough with the lecture. Just drive me there. Charlie knew he couldn't win, so he agreed and drove Jacob to the vintage market. Heir's Hill was a well-known historical city. Its vintage market, located just outside the main tourist area, was famous throughout the United States. Antique dealers and collectors from all over the country flocked there. The local tourism board had even capitalized on its popularity, spending a lot of money to renovate the market and turn it into a major tourist attraction. When they got to the vintage market, Jacob walked up to an antique shop and told the receptionist he had an appointment. The receptionist then invited them into the VIP lounge in the back to view the item. Charlie started to follow, but Jacob turned back. Don't come in. You wouldn't understand any of this anyway. Just wait for me outside the VIP lounge. Charlie nodded. Okay, Dad. With his hands clasped behind his back, Jacob followed the staff member into the VIP lounge, and Charlie took a seat in the waiting area. A few minutes later, Charlie suddenly heard a sharp cracking sound from the VIP lounge. A moment later, he saw his father-in-law stumble out, completely panicked. "It's over. It's over. This is all over." Charlie hurried over and looked past Jacob. On the floor, a tall, slender ceramic vase lay in two large pieces, surrounded by smaller shards. Looking at the broken pieces, Charlie could tell it was supposed to be a Thompson period porcelain vase. Having grown up with the Wade family, Charlie knew a thing or two about antiques. He could tell at a glance that the vase was a genuine antique, something that could easily sell for several $1 million on the market. Looks like Jacob had really messed up this time. Inside the VIP lounge, a middle-aged man said with a grim expression, "Mr. Wilson, our antique porcelain vase was worth at least $5 million. Now that you've broken it, you're going to have to pay." This was Enzo Zimmerman, the manager of the antique gallery. Jacob grabbed Charlie and said frantically, "This is my son-in-law. He's loaded. Do you have any idea how much money he has? $5 million is nothing to him. Even $50 million would be pocket change. He'll pay you right now. You can talk to him. I've got to go." With that, Jacob shoved Charlie forward, turned, and bolted out the door. Charlie stood there, stunned. His father-in-law was unbelievable. This was a classic setup, leaving him to take the fall. Enzo glared at Charlie and asked coldly, "Sir, the total comes to $5.38 million. Will you be paying by card or bank transfer?" Charlie held up his hands. "I don't have any money." It wasn't that he couldn't afford it. He just wanted to teach his father-in-law a lesson so he'd stop coming to the vintage market every day. "No money?" Enzo gritted his teeth. "You broke our most valuable piece and you think you can just walk away by claiming you're broke?" Charlie said helplessly, "I'm not trying to hide anything. I really don't have the money. Besides, I'm not the one who broke your vase. Why should I be the one to pay for it?"